Hey, today we're talking about how to get just a little bit leaner without doing anything too extreme. So this advice is really for the ladies who are pretty happy with where they're at, but wouldn't mind losing just a little bit more weight to see how they feel. I'm assuming that you're somebody who already has the basics sorted out. So I'm assuming that you already eat a decent amount of calories and you count calories consistently, and that you're managing stress and you're limiting alcohol and sugar and all those sorts of things. This advice really isn't for somebody who is extremely calorie restricted already. That's a whole different issue. There's lots of other things that we need to address in that situation. This advice is really for somebody who's already eating a decent amount of calories, say around 1,800 or even more, because it's going to be a lot easier for you to implement the advice that I'm going to give you. Now, what I'm going to do is draw on my recent experience of losing weight. I hadn't planned to lose weight, but as we're going to talk about, because of a variety of reasons, I've lost around 6 pounds or slightly more. And today I'm going to talk you through the little things that I did that led to that weight loss. And then at the end of this video, I'm actually going to talk about whether I think it's worth it and whether I'm actually going to maintain this weight or try to put the weight back on. So jumping right in, the first piece of advice I wanted to give you is to consider shaving unnecessary calories where possible. So you might be thinking, well, this advice isn't new to me. I know that I need to restrict calories if I want to lose weight, but what I wanted to do is talk about where you can shave calories from your diet without causing yourself too much pain. And for me, this actually happened because of a couple of reasons. The first thing is that a lot of the foods that I like to eat are actually out of stock. And so I've really simplified my diet. And the other thing is that the cost of food right now has just meant that I've been leaving certain things out that I would normally eat, like, for example, avocados. So I wanted to use the avocado as an example of how this could look in your daily life. A lot of evenings for me, dinner is a Buddha bowl of some sort with like a rice base and lots of veggies and a protein. And then I love adding some chopped avocado for a bit of a creamier texture. I just think avocado just brings everything together. But avocados have been super expensive over the last couple of months, and I was often finding I would bring one home and cut it open, it would be rotten. And with the cost of the grocery bills lately, I just thought, you know what, I'm not going to do avocados anymore until they get really cheap again. So I haven't been putting avocados on top of my Buddha bowls in the evening. And at first I was like, I don't know if I can do this. This is not going to be as nice as normal. It's going to be boring. But in fact, now that I've been doing it for a while, I don't actually miss the avocados anymore. And so this is a way that you can shave unnecessary calories, because I've realized that, well, I don't actually need the avocados. And let's say a third of a medium avocado is about 85 calories. Well, that's a savings of 85 calories with my evening meal, which is quite considerable if you consider how that adds up over a week or over a month. And that's just one way you can shave calories. Fat is a really good target when you're trying to reduce unnecessary calories, because it has 9 calories per gram. And so if you are going to try to take a little bit of unnecessary calories out, I would suggest looking at the fat sources in your diet. Another way you can do this is to consider how you cook your food. It's really easy to put too much oil in the pan when you're cooking. And in fact, if you're really careful with the oil, or if you have really good nonstick pans, you might need hardly any oil at all. So that's another really good way to save some calories. Another way that I've shaved calories without really intending to is that I've been trying to fix a few areas of my gums working with my dentist, and I'm going to do a whole another video on this in the near future. But one of the things I've done is just made sure I have like 0 sugar in my diet. I'm already really low sugar, but I've quit having bananas in my smoothies, and I occasionally like to make apple protein pancake and drizzle it with maple syrup. Well, I've been having less of those because I've been really cutting out the fruit in general just during this period while I'm trying to address the issues with my gums. But when I do have that apple pancake, I've just been leaving the maple syrup off of it as well. And in fact, I don't even really notice. And so this is another way that I've dropped my calories without really intending to lose weight, is I've just really gone hard with cutting the sugar out of my diet. And so that's another thing that you could consider. For example, if you're somebody who has a smoothie every day with a full banana, well, you could easily make that a quarter of a banana and save quite a few calories. Or you may find, like me, that your smoothies are perfectly fine without any banana at all. So that's the first thing to consider, is just where are the unnecessary calories? Where can you take just a little bit out without causing yourself too much pain? The next piece of advice I wanted to give you is to consider skipping a meal every now and then. Now, I say this with a lot of hesitation because I really do not want to encourage unhealthy eating habits. And in fact, it's my preference that you have a set routine that includes 3 meals and a snack and is really routine for you, because in the long run, I found that ladies who are consistent and who have that routine do the best. So I give this advice with a lot of hesitation, and I really want to emphasize again that it is for the ladies who are eating a decent amount of calories already and who are really consistent, feeling really healthy, and who don't have a lot of stress in their lives at the moment, because skipping meals and restricting calories increases the stress on your body, which is not going to help you if you're trying to lose weight. So I say all of this with hesitation, but I wanted to give you the option because for me, it's been quite likely the reason that I've lost a significant amount of weight. So recently in a YouTube video, I talked about how I've started a sort of intermittent fasting protocol where I don't eat my first meal, my breakfast, until later in the morning, simply because I'm really busy and I like to get up and I like to get into work. And that eliminates the need for having an afternoon snack, which is great because I just don't really have time to think about food. But the thing is, not having that afternoon snack anymore has meant that I'm having quite a bit less calories, which has likely been the reason that I've dropped weight. So you can go and watch that fasting video if you want to see in more detail what I've been doing. But what this could look like for you is that, let's say you're somebody who eats the 3 full meals a day, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner, plus a snack. On rest days or cardio days, you could simply skip that snack every now and then. And that would mean throughout the week you're eating less calories, and that would likely help you to drop a little bit of weight without causing too much pain. Now, quite likely you'll be a bit hungry and it'll feel a bit weird leaving that snack out if you're somebody who's used to having it all the time. But in reality, if you want to lose weight, you will have to be a bit hungry sometimes. So have a cup of tea and just work through it, and don't panic too much when that hunger sets in. However, if you find that you're getting really irritable, anxious, or hangry, then you should probably have that snack and just drop your plan to not have the snack that day, because it's more important that you listen to your body and be really gentle with yourself when you're trying to lose weight. In my experience, that is going to work so much better. And the final thing I wanted to say with this is that for me, I've actually had to be really careful with this, because if I keep this routine, I'm going to keep losing weight. And for me, my priority is building muscle. So on the days when I'm training really hard, especially when I'm training upper body, because I like to have muscular shoulders and arms, I make sure that I still have that snack. So that's the second thing you can do, is to consider skipping a meal every now and then, but make sure you're listening to your body. And the final tip I wanted to give you is to remember to move as much as possible. So in other videos here on YouTube, I've talked about this before. This is called non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or NEAT for short. And it simply means the calories that you burn from all the activities you do throughout the day that aren't deliberate exercise. And so a great way to increase your NEAT, your calorie burning from other activities, is to do more of these activities. So in my life, for example, I tend to be a really busy person. I'm not somebody who likes to sit on the couch in the evenings and watch TV. And so usually what I do after dinner is I get up and I tidy the house, because my brain just feels better when I wake up in the morning and the house is really organized. I just feel more calm. And so I give the house a tidy. I play with Nero, and I'm actually quite active for a couple of hours after eating, which is a great way to increase your caloric burn and make sure that you don't just store the calories from dinner. Another thing you could do is simply just go for a little walk outside. If you have a pet, if you have kids, play with them. It's going to improve your life as well. It's going to do so much more for you than just sitting around watching TV or being on your device. If I have a really big meal, if I indulge in some spaghetti, which I do every now and then, I'll actually take out the vacuum and I'll vacuum the whole house. And that just helps to burn off some of those extra carbs from the pasta. So I just wanted to remind you of NEAT, because you don't necessarily have to be out there, doing hard cardio and really beating yourself down at the gym. And in fact, when you're trying to lose weight, the more gentle you are with yourself, the better it's going to go. And simply by just moving a little bit more throughout your day, you increase your caloric burn without causing yourself too much pain or increasing the stress on your body. So that's why I wanted to remind you to move as much as possible. So I hope you found these tips helpful. Remember, if you want some help with your training or with weight loss or muscle building, to check out my programs. I'll leave a link to them in the description of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Hey, so I forgot to give you an update as to whether or not I think the weight loss has been worth it. So I thought I'd leave you with this flashback of Nero playing as a kitten and just quickly let you know whether or not I think it has been worth it. So the answer is I'm really not sure. When I lose weight, of course, I don't lose it where I want to lose it. I love how my legs feel. They feel more slim, but I always start feeling skinny on top, and I really don't like the way my upper body looks. I lose a lot of the fullness and roundness that I love seeing in my arms and my shoulders. And then when it comes to my stomach, I've never had a great stomach anyway. Like, I have visible abs, but I have a blocky core, and so while it comes off my stomach a bit, it's not really amazing results. And so for me, it's not really worth it in the sense that it makes my stomach look better or anything, because it really doesn't. So the short story is I'm not sure if it's been worth it, and I'll probably assess again in the summer when I start wearing more tank tops and see how I feel. For now, I'm just making sure that I eat a lot on training days to really make sure that I don't lose any more muscle on top. All right, so that's it from me. Thanks again for watching.